Perfect. So why don't you just kind of give us a little brief explanation of what your setup is and why you like to do Comic Cons?
So most of the stuff I've built, this is obviously based on the movie Neverending Story. I made most of the stuff out of styrofoam expandable foams. Some things do have a little bit of wood in there, PVC for the arms over here. And I did a little bit of puppeteering for the eyes, the mouth. You have control over it. You can actually steer the head because I put it on a hinge. This is my 10th year doing this. I started way back 10 years ago. I built the Hulk. Kind of did that by accident. I was going to make it a costume. It was a prop, and then brought it to a con, made money that way. The next year I built Toothless, the dragon, from How to Train Your Dragon, and then from there it was the Iron Giant. I did the battle cast of He-Man and the Master Universe, and then I did Appa, if you remember from last year, a couple years, the Flying Bison from Last Airbender. So yeah, we're trying this one out. It was the 40th anniversary last year, so I thought they're reprising it. They're going to do a new series, I guess, based on the characters, and so I thought now's a good spot. It seems to have struck a chord.
Yeah. So this is your 10th year, you just said. So, what value do you find out of Comic Cons and the communities that are built behind here?
I think the best value I can say is it feels like a safe place for a lot of people. It feels like this is a place that people can kind of be who they are. And I know there's a lot of quirky folk out there, I like to say. But I mean, we meet everybody on the spectrum and people that are maybe not quite the norm, and it's good. I think it's great to be able to let your hair down, express your creativity. That is the other part of it too, which is that, people don't really do a lot of art anymore, but when they can do like cosplay or get to see other art stuff, it lets that release out a little bit, I think, and it's great. It's just like, even if it's just once a year, that's all they can do. I think it's a good outlet.
And what's your favorite part personally of the conventions? Like, do you like to shop yourself, or do you go to other vendors?
I like the camaraderie. I get to travel the United States. That's the cool part too. I get to see all these different shows and stuff. Favorite part, though, I think getting to see people's expressions, getting them, they're very excited. We've had some very emotional responses to these builds, as you can imagine. Even going further back with like Toothless and stuff, and people putting their hands on his face. Just, you can't believe the connection a lot of folks have with these films, and it really ties to their childhood, and it's great. It's great. I mean, it's nice when they feel that they get that immersion and they get that little escapism, and they're like, yes, this feels good. So yeah.
Now, when you get that kind of emotional response to things, does that somehow, like, as a side effect, give you a sense of responsibility to keep that alive?
Oh yeah. I mean, you certainly feel. I feel like I always worry a little bit, like I've gone too far. Am I hurting? Does it hurt? Most of the time, or I've never had any bad responses. Most it's always been like, no, it's good. I just need to get that out, and it's sort of cathartic. But I know that when I pick these things to build, it's always something that either I want to see because I've not seen it, and there's some connection to me to that film or movie or show or whatever. And then in this case, so many people were asking about it when I was touring with Appa. A lot of the older generation were saying, "Is this from Neverending Story?" Because it'd been so long. So I'm like, there's definitely a demand for that there, and it was like, that movie especially connects, especially with the passing of the horse in the middle. No spoilers. But yeah, so that one, of course, most of these people are like 5 years old watching it for the first time, seeing a death in film, and that connects them, and that's So there's that childhood trauma that they can keep referring to, which is, it's good and bad.
So for the last question here, because I told you it would be brief, how about you just kind of plug yourself and where people can find your work and where you're going to be next?
Okay. Well, my name is John Marks. You can find me, honestly, it's John_Marks FX. I think I'm pretty much that now on every social media now. So I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, I think, as well, although I don't use X. Sorry. But yeah, if you just find that way, or you can, if you look under Brazen Monkey, that's my company's name. Brazen is BRAZEN, Monkey. But so one way or the other, you should be able to find me. But I'm an FX artist, and John Marks, pretty simple to spell, so I don't know.
Well, thank you for giving us a bit of your time. Once again, I'm Will Beamon, the production manager for CTV, and we're at Indiana Comic Con 2025.